I sense something not elusive.
Stay a while and listen. Well met.
You are not prepared.
This better be good.
Existence is mysterious.
Loud and clear.
Hello there.
Greetings, traveler, and welcome to the Recluse.
Welcome to episode 211 of the Blue Recluse. My name is Martin Larsen, and you're listening to the podcast about everything Blizzard. It's Sunday, it's November 4th, 2018. It's the day after BlizzCon, and what a show! What a show! So much to talk about. There's so many things that even Tom decided to come back just for this, just for this one show we can do this month. So welcome, Tom. How you doing?
I'm like Chris Mattson. I left the Blue Recluse for a while. Then I came back just for one time only because, wow, there is some things to talk about. Yeah, as always after BlizzCon, but maybe...
Those Hearthstone news, right? Those Hearthstone
I haven't missed you interrupting me at all. And what can only be described as a historical BlizzCon.
Historical, not historic?
Hysterical. I got those two words.
Hysterical. Okay.
Yeah. Always happening.
As you can hear, Mike is always here. Always here. Also here. Always and also. How you doing, Mike?
Pretty much always.
A regular fixture in the Blue Recluse.
There's a lot to unpack. There's so much that we probably won't get to like all the finer details, but there was lots of emotions going on, excitement, disappointment, some tears were shed, both happy and sad, depending on where you sit on the spectrum. So I'm just looking forward to diving right into it and talking about all the esports. Let's do it.
All the esports, all right. Well,
that's all we're talking about today.
Speaking of esports, let's start out with like a prediction that was made. I think Tom wants to really talk about this, right?
I mean, I listened back to last week's episode, and it was magnificent to hear the balls and the blue come together once again. And I did hear a prediction at the end that Michael was talking about the USA against the United Kingdom at Overwatch, and he made a pretty rash statement that America in previous historical moments in time had beaten the United Kingdom and they would have no issues doing that again. How did that work out for you, Michael?
Aimbot happened. That's what happened. Cheaters on the world stage. Let it be known. Cheaters on the world stage. No, it was an upset. The UK beat the United States in Overwatch. It was an upset. It was good. Good on the UK. You did something right.
Speaking of upset, oh no, that's later.
Actually, no. I think we should start out with addressing the elephant in the room. The other elephant, not the US versus the UK elephant. The other elephant that a lot of people has been talking about. I think we should actually jump into the announcements maybe as we see them in the order they should have presented it in instead of what they went with. So let's start out with Diablo, right? Jump straight into it. The big one. Let's get it out of the way because I feel like there's a lot of feelings attached to this one. Maybe some little bit negative feelings as well from some people. And we usually want to look at the positives and stuff like that. So I thought let's get this out of the way so we can focus on the positive afterwards, right? Isn't that a good way to do it?
Yes.
Tom is nodding. Tom is nodding.
I'm nodding.
He has not forgotten. He has not forgotten how to podcast.
I'm trying to put my words together right now, so this is all I've got for you. I'd like to hear Michael because I know me and you, Marty, have had a little discussion before the show. So I think we should start with the good, the bad.
I know that some of us were on Discord doing the opening ceremony, but you had to leave, Michael. So I don't think you were actually in the call when Diablo announced when they announced the new mobile game. You were not in the call, so I don't know what you think. Well, I do. We have spoken a little bit about it, but what do you think about all this? Let's just start out. Mobile game for Diablo, new Diablo game. It's only on mobile. What are your thoughts?
Initial thoughts, Blizzard, what the hell are you doing? Okay, it was initially, what is going on here? Why are you showing this? Like this, I think we can all agree, and it still stands, that this is not what people were expecting. and not in like a good way. We're like, oh my god, we're pleasantly surprised. It was not what we were expecting, and it's not necessarily what we wanted. And for the mass group of people that were excited for a Diablo announcement, this is nothing for them. I know we all sit in different camps on the amount of mobile games that we play. Personally, once I set aside my disappointment from the lack of announcements on the Diablo front, we've discussed how this is probably not the best thing, that they should have put out the main thing, built up the hype, and they should have been able to read their audience. It just shows that they don't know, or they just didn't really focus too much on the audience that wanted to see it. That being said, the more I watch about the game, because we don't know anything about pricing or anything like that, or how the actual in-game is going to go, regardless of what controls are right now, they can be tweaked and modified as things go on. It's still in early stages, probably. I'm excited. I'm excited for Diablo Immortal because I like playing games on my phone. And if Blizzard can give us a proper experience, I'm not expecting, because it is on mobile, I'm not expecting that tight control that we get on a PC or even a console. I'm excited for it. And a lot of people are saying, like, rip Diablo. I'm actually saying rip Wyatt Chang, because I felt so bad for the guy because he went up there and he was clearly trying to bring the hype for it. Like, he's excited. I was getting kind of excited. I was expecting maybe a Diablo 2 alongside of it, like a Diablo 2 remastered. That did not come our way. But he reiterated later on, we have multiple Diablo projects.
Yeah.
Multiple Diablo projects by multiple teams, not just the same team doing a lot of different things. It's multiple teams.
Did they say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
They said that in day 2 panels after all the backlash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I must have missed that when they said that 10 times.
Yes. So, first of all, the community disappointed me. Definitely, day 1 disappointed me with the vitriol that came the way of the developers and the game itself. Without, people are letting their opinions on what they wanted to be shown color their opinions of what was shown. And then on day 2, my faith in the community was somewhat restored, because you had people coming up to the mic and were like, look, everything we're saying comes from a place of love, and we love the franchise, we love the game, and thank you for all that you do, even with the negative comments. Like, we appreciate the work that you guys do, and we look forward to what's coming next our way. So I like it. I'm excited for it. Is it what I wanted to be announced? No. Am I disappointed on that front? Yes. I said Diablo needed something big. To me, this was not it. I still, not taking into account what the internet is saying, I still personally think this is a disappointment in terms of Diablo at BlizzCon.
I agree. Let's move on. No. I have a lot to say. I don't know how much we should actually say about it, but I mean, I think you're right, Michael. I think that Blizzard sort of dug their own grave here, because they did a few months earlier. They did say they they started saying that, hey, we have multiple projects in the works. So obviously everybody got excited because multiple projects. That's more than that's more than one. That's at least 2, right? So and we already had a lot of rumors about Diablo 4, obviously, it's the big rumor. We had a rumor of the Druid for Diablo 3. We had rumors about a remastered. We had rumors about a Netflix series. So many rumors. Blizzard then, a few weeks before, as we've discussed on this show, came out and said, hey, maybe just adjust your expectations a little bit, is how I read into it. Just a little bit. My thoughts were, okay, Diablo 4 off the table, but there's still so many other things that can be here. And then we got the schedule, which is clearly shown that Diablo is the first panel. So people started, oh, it's something big, right? The first panel after the opening ceremony. And then the opening ceremony happened, nothing from Diablo, it was all the other games, and then we ended up with Diablo. So obviously, this had to be something big, right? And then we got this mobile game that I don't think a lot of people expected. I know there were some people who had been joking about it and stuff like that, but they didn't really expect this to be it, because there were so many other cool rumors, so much other shiny stuff that looks way more shinier than a mobile game. And I remember when I watched it, I even said it on Discord. I was like, this is not for me. I'm not excited for this. And then I was then expecting maybe there's something afterwards, but there wasn't.
I think that's the biggest problem.
It was underwhelming for the way it was set up, that it was the last thing to go, and usually that's the one where it's like, whoa, wow, then we all walk away from the open ceremony with big cheesy grins on our face to talk about the announcement. And I feel like this, they were slowly blowing up this balloon, and the balloon wasn't very big because, I'll be honest, I'll say what was announced on the main stage opening ceremony was pretty much expected. Yeah. So
bar one thing.
Yeah, bar one thing. So balloon wasn't too big, and then this announcement just felt a bit like, they just popped the balloon, and now there's no balloon. And yeah, I mean, I was expecting a mobile project for Diablo. As a single announcement, probably not. And there's a couple of camps here. There's people that are going crazy, that are full of hatred, and they're hurling abuse. They're like, let's downvote everything to do with Diablo now. It's God. It's like, guys, come on, just calm down. We can talk about this rationally. I would say I would understand about being a bit disappointed that it wasn't anything bigger. I mean, even I feel like that. I would say, like, yeah, I was probably expecting something a bit bigger than just this on its own. I'm like, yeah, that could be cool. I would like to try it when it comes out, but there wasn't too many details about it either, which also raises a lot of questions. It's been outsourced to a Chinese company, NetEase, which again is a bit weird, and they have a lot of similar games. It's not very innovative, I would say, when it comes to a mobile game, like something we've kind of seen before. So yeah, it's good for them to reach out into the mobile market, but did it really get me like off my seat as in some years? No, it didn't. And I had even held out in purchasing the virtual ticket, one, because of internet issues, thank you Canada, and two, because a lot of the stuff that I knew that was coming out in the opening ceremony, I kind of had a general gist idea. We all did this year, and I was holding off because I was only really going to be able to watch the day one anyway, so I was going to miss the day two with the more interesting panels. And after this announcement, I was like, well, you know what? I'm actually not going to buy the virtual ticket. And I've seen people complaining now about Blizzard hyped all this up, so they would sell virtual tickets, and you can always watch the opening ceremony for free. You can always purchase it after to see if you want to go deeper into that. There's additional rewards as well on top of that, and I don't side with that whole, they just did it to sell virtual tickets. They didn't. And if you're smart enough to look into it a bit more instead of just taking everything at face value and not kind of researching that, then you're going to get stung. You're always going to get stung if that's your mentality, because if you just click buy on something and don't really look into that.
That's me and Dusty, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like right now there's a lot of hatred around Blizzard. It's a PR disaster. Let's not say it's not, because it is. You only have to look at the YouTube fiasco with how many downvotes it's getting. But this is an important stage for Blizzard. How they deal with this now will be an indication to what sort of company they are now, because we're saying, Blizz, Activision, they've changed, and times change and companies change, and that doesn't mean they are in the right. They are correct, but how they deal with this fallout is a big indication of their, like, how they do things and how they deal with their customer, because from the BlizzCon announcement, it looks like they are completely out of touch with their PC player base. And it's not surprising when the latest two big announcements have been Diablo on another console, Nintendo Switch, and a mobile game. So I can see why, if that Diablo was your main game, you'd be feeling a bit like off with Blizzard for it.
Yeah, and to touch a little bit on how they've handled it, I feel like they have done all the things that you should never do when it comes to social media and when it comes to the internet, because there's a lot of reports. I don't know if because it seems like the PR team has been deleting comments from the YouTube video. I don't know if that's true. I don't have any, I can't see if that's true anyway. I don't know if that's actually true. So I don't know if the source is reliable, so to say. But what we can see is this: there is pages with statistics that, when I checked it out, showed that in total the video had gotten like 400,000 and 450,000 dislikes or something like that. No, not dislikes, just ratings overall. So that's both likes and dislikes. But the video, when you go to the actual video, only had 300,000 dislikes, well, only, and 10,000 likes. So over 100,000 ratings somewhere disappeared. And that worries me a little bit. Because that's straight up statistics. You can't really do anything about that, and that does point towards that some of them have been removed somewhere. And I don't know if people know that. I didn't know you were actually able to do it in YouTube, but it sort of makes sense that you can. You can probably buy a little bit of better ratings and stuff like that. I know that you can do. I don't know. Do you guys know Trustpilot, or is it only a Danish thing? I don't know. Trustpilot is a website where you can rate like internet companies and stuff like that. It's really big in Denmark, at least. But the thing is that you can actually, if you have a lot of like bad reviews, you can actually pay to get them removed and stuff like that. And
whoa,
yeah, and it feels like something along the line has been going on here. But again, I don't know. It's just the stats sort of points in that direction, and I don't like that. I personally
agree
don't
with
like
Frazzy in the chat, because he's saying this draws more attention. Like, if you start doing things like this, then people are going to be going, well, not only have you just disappointed a huge chunk of your player base with this announcement, now you're manipulating the statistics for a video. And that doesn't really seem like it's important, because once it's out there on the internet, it's out there on the internet. You cannot get rid of that. It's just so, people are so reactive. People are going to have screenshots. People are going to, it's like, oh, you did that tweet 10 years ago, and you think people, no, they haven't forgot, Michael. They haven't forgot. And once it's out on the internet, it's there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Blizzard they know what's going on. They've seen this uproar from the community. I'm pretty sure they'll have a few meetings the coming weeks to figure out how to go forward about all this. So unless some of you have something more to add, I don't want to dwell too much about this. So any of you have
I just say one last thing.
Okay.
And this is for if anybody that is like Blizzard related listens to it. I say weather the storm. Weather the storm if you believe in your product. Like, don't delete things, because Call of Duty had one of those things, the same thing, where the video got so many dislikes versus likes, and guess what? The game still sold well. Okay, this is just a knee-jerk reaction by people, and if you truly believe in your product, stand by it. Prove people wrong by creating a good game. I'm disappointed that you did not do the things that I thought you would do, and you didn't provide anything specifically for those of us who don't want to play games on the phone. But even still, like, stick to your guns, and please give us something new soon. Give us something for the PC soon.
And I think that's the thing. I think that's what bugs me the most, is not so much that it's on mobile. I mean, I think we've seen this coming. I think even on the prediction show, we said for every IP that, hey, they could actually make a mobile game here, and it's the natural next step. I just think the thing that bugs me is that it's new lore, it's new story. Sure, it's set between two expansions where we know where we're coming from, we know where we started from. So, but that new and the new lore is in between those. But still, it's new story, it's new lore. It's something I'm interested in. That's why I play games. It's not for the big grind afterwards. It's actually for the story and stuff like that. And I'm a PC gamer. I'm a little bit older than the rest of the people. I don't really play on mobile, and I'll try it out. Of course, I will. I can't deny that, but I'm really having a hard time seeing me playing this like full time and getting everything out of it. And so I why not also make it for PC or for the consoles or whatever? I mean, it's in a time where we are so inclusive. We even have Diablo 3 on Switch. I mean, a better announcement would probably... I mean, it would have been better, in my in my eyes, if they had come out and said, "Hey, we have Diablo 3 now for mobile as well," way, I mean that had been better in my.
I'd take a new adventure on mobile rather than Diablo 3 again.
Yeah,
no,
well, obviously it shouldn't be like the main announcement either. That's not what I'm saying.
I agree.
I think Blizzard should have learned from other companies, specifically Bethesda, who have started to get their fingers into the mobile market. The year they announced Fallout Shelter, for example, was the year they also announced Fallout 4. And this year at E3, they announced Elder Scrolls Blades, which is going to be a mobile game, but they also threw up a 10-second teaser for Elder Scrolls 6. And I think the fact that this year BlizzCon, there's been literally no acknowledgement of anything else, like not even Diablo 3, nothing. It's just solely about this mobile game, that there was nothing else to offer. And even about this game, there was not really, they didn't really talk about. They talked about a few of the levels, the basics, but I didn't really feel like there was much depth to that. And I think, that's an issue. That is an issue. And I had something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I don't know what you wanted to say. But no, I definitely feel like if we let's just pretend that last year Diablo 4 came out, this year this mobile game came out, it would have been a completely different story, because then the core player base had been occupied. They were still playing Diablo 4. They were still having fun. They were still being in a good spot. So the mobile game, they would have taken it in like, oh, it's my new little brother. I love him as much as my older brother or whatever. But since the community has been hungering for something new for so long, I think that's also one of the reasons why this whole backlash has happened.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was trying to say. It was a really good point as well.
All right,
let's move on.
Let's move on to all the other big Blizzard news. Destiny 2 is free to PC users through Battle.net.
Yeah, in case anybody missed it, they announced it before the opening ceremony at the just the initial panel that if you don't have it yet, the base game for Destiny 2 is available for free on PC through Battle.net. So, in my opinion, get it.
Free games.
Free game. It's a decent enough shooter. If you're not interested in the late game, then guess what? You didn't buy it.
Even a free bad game is still a free game, right? So
taking up hard drive space with that bad game. I enjoy Destiny 2. If I had the money, I probably would have bought the expansion already. I continued playing it. But get it. It's free.
If I liked the payment model, I will probably have bought the expansion as well.
I think real quick, it's only available till like what, the 18th or the 11th or something like that.
Yeah.
The 18th. Yeah.
I thought it was quite funny though. I mean, this is a great thing for people that don't own Destiny 2, because you're gonna get like a decent campaign in there. You get great value out of that, just getting that for free. And then they're like, oh, well, the people that already own Destiny 2, you get an emblem. An emblem.
When all we really wanted was a portrait.
Yeah, give us a portrait. Come on. Jesus, Bungie, you know nothing. Yeah.
It's funny though, because I mean, when you look at it, I'm gonna try not to go back to what we've just been talking about, but it almost set a precedent for, oh, we're not really gonna reward players that have purchased our game and are devoted to our game. This is gonna be just better for people that we want to recruit. This is all better for people that don't really play our games or aren't as invested, and the people that are invested don't really get anything, and that's
just like being a StarCraft player.
I don't know, if it sparks interest in the game. More people coming in, then it benefits the people that do play, because then they have more people to play it with, and it just adds more population. You can build up better guilds, more teams. You can actually do more content. Positive.
So, I'm pretty sure Michael didn't hear my StarCraft segue.
Oh, I heard it.
Okay,
I just chose to ignore it.
Just ignored it. Okay.
If you want to be a jerk, then I'm just not going to respond to you. Okay.
All right. Speaking of StarCraft 2, it's a game that we actually got some news for. I think we sort of predicted this, right? New co-op commander. We'll be getting Zeratul. So, Michael, are you excited for that? Something do you play co-op at all?
I do occasionally. I don't have many people to play it with, and I've never played it randomly with like a random person, and I'm always nervous to do that. But I mean, it's what we expected. We were kind of holding out for like a little mini pack of Nova-esque type stuff. It didn't come our way. We kind of expected it, and we got no word of anything else kind of coming our way.
No.
So StarCraft is kind of on hiatus for a while. We don't get a new mobile game for StarCraft. So at least you got something, Diablo. Be happy!
I got excited when StarCraft 2 came first on stage. I was like, oh, Michael, here we go. This one's for you, bud.
Commander. Boom. And then if you want more information on DeepMind, tune in later. Which I think is a cool concept, but otherwise I don't really care all that much about.
No, I mean it's interesting. It's one of the panels I want to watch as well, but it doesn't really affect my gaming life. No. Yeah. So yeah. But StarCraft got some new shiny things. Heroes of the Storm also got a little bit of love with a lush. Oh my god, that cinematic! I love anime, and there was so much of it. It's so sweet. We got a new hero, Orphea. And this is not well, it is a Blizzard hero, but it's not from an existing franchise. This is the first hero made from the ground up in the good old Nexus, a Nexus hero. And I have watched all the panels about this. I actually think this is pretty interesting. This is a big step, and she looks sweet. She looks so badass.
Oh, I thought she was a character from the history of Diablo between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. No, that's not where she came in.
Marty, can we just like kick him out and go back to the two of us? The layout may be a little bit messed up. I don't care. No, it's exciting. It's exciting. Our first Nexus only hero, and the animation that went with it. Holy moly! I was like, this was one of those moments where I watched it while I was at work. It was lunchtime. Okay, I wasn't slacking off. So I was watching it while I was at work, and that was the first moment where I got like hairs rising up. Like, I was so excited watching it. I love anime battles. Like, even when I was a kid, like Dragon Ball Z, watching all that stuff would get me super hyped. And this was the first moment that got me like, yes, this is so cool. It's animated. The Raven Lord is battling her, and it just looked awesome. I'm excited to play her. And she is free for everyone that has a virtual ticket, and that was at BlizzCon. Free hero, yes, can't go wrong there. I'm still excited. Yes.
I have a question for you, Michael. Had they hinted at Orphea at any stage leading up to BlizzCon? Because I was searching for some more information for her today, and I stumbled across a forum post from September where somebody predicted Orphea to be announced at BlizzCon.
I think it sort of was, right? Because the whole the comic, the Nexus only comic, is something. It's like a pre-campaign to actually releasing her, because they needed to set up some lore for the Nexus. So I don't know. I guess that is sort of like the precursor for this, but I don't know. I haven't read them myself yet. I have to be honest.
Which was quite hilarious, because that forum post had a couple of comments after going, Blizzard wouldn't do this. Blizzard wouldn't just do a hero that's not associated to one of the franchises that are already out there. That's ridiculous. You're a fool. You're an idiot. Never going to happen. I was like,
So developers have been talking about it, about how they want to do more Nexus lore, and they've been doing the comics like Marty said, and they've been discussing how they want to incorporate it, and we've seen some things, and then once we saw the effort that they were putting in, then the community was kind of putting in, like, okay, is it a possibility that they might create their own hero? And like you said, you saw a bunch of people saying no, but there has been a large majority that have just been like, okay, they're going to do it sometime soon, mainly because also when you look at it, Blizzard is starting to reach into the pockets of their characters that they have established in current games, but their big heavy hitters are kind of already in the game. We have the Arthas, we have the Illidan's, the Jaina's, the big characters, James Raynor, Kerrigan, we have those. So how else do you bring like really big hype? Create your own characters that exist within this universe and this lore, and start creating.
Zappy Boy's not in it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. He's not
We've
dead.
never seen him do anything except get knocked down.
He's not dead yet.
So his ability, get knocked down.
Knocked down.
So yeah, but no, I mean, I watched the panel about how they created the hero and all the things that they talked about and discussed, and I think it was amazing to just see that someone came up with a drawing and they were like, oh, this looks cool, we need to make this as a hero, and that's the they had no idea about abilities, they had no idea about her background and stuff like that. I just find it amazing how creativity works sometimes and how we can approach it to create characters, and yeah, it looks amazing, and as I also said, I would love to just take an anime series in that style. It looked amazing.
It did. Blizzard. I wish if 1 year, if Blizzard knows that they don't have a lot to show, if they just built up like a year of animations and we're just like, look, we have no real announcements this year, so the whole opening ceremony is just going to be animations from your favorite franchises, and it's about 45 minutes to an hour long. Holy moly, I'd be like, thank you. Thank you for not leading an apple and just like
why didn't they do it this year? Is that what you're saying?
They could have, if they would have made certain cinematics a little bit longer, added some in a different area, because we got some pretty cool ones.
Played one right after the opening ceremony. Yeah, I mean, it would have been fine.
But we are looking at a possible another Heroes 2.0 type deal.
Yeah, I was about
coming our way eventually.
I was about to say that, because at the end of one of they showed what they had in store for us. Towards the end, there was a lot of like buzzwords, just these things, updates for these things, and it was basically the whole game. So, do you think there will be like a 3.0 in the making, or?
I do. I mean, they're bringing in new XP changes. They're changing up towers again, where they're worth like either no to little experience. They're changing that stuff. They're doing more character reworks. I think with 2.0. Or something along there was like the Rainer rework, or maybe Rainer came a little bit later, but that was how it was started. XP changes, like leveling changes, map changes, things like that. So it's pretty exciting. It's a good time to be into Heroes, especially if you were on that hype train from the esports. Like, oh my god, like Heroes of the Storm, good Heroes. Do
you think they would call it Heroes 3.0? Do you think?
I hope not. I hope they give it like a name.
Heroes of the Storm Reforged. Heroes of the Storm, Immortals, or something like that.
Maybe not those two, but maybe some tagline. Hold on, my phone is ringing. Okay, it's done.
Here we go. Tom's phone is done ringing. Let's move. Do you have anything else to add to Heroes of the Storm, Mike? Or
no.
So let's jump over to good old Overwatch.
It was actually, sorry guys, it was Mike Morheim on the phone telling me to ease off the Diablo jokes.
Alright, let's jump to Overwatch, where Uncle Jeff was ready to welcome everyone. And I mean, I don't care about cinematics and announcements as long as Jeff is on the stage. I mean, it's Jeff. It's always, he's so entertaining. And I mean, just before that, Hearthstone tried to do the announcement, but they had mic issues. So the first thing, Jeff just jumped on stage and said, "Our mics works fine," and started his show. Amazing.
Yeah, I felt because obviously we had we had Mike Morheim coming out. We didn't even talk about that. We were kind of like, is he? Isn't he? And it was almost like the exchange of the Blizz baton with Justice Points.
Alan Brack.
Alan Point. Alan Points, Justice Points, Alan. And what was the whole, he was like arm over his shoulder and like, you built this. And some people had some like, I don't know, like masks with little slits in them. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I don't know what that was about.
I'm not completely sure what it was about, but I guess like the whole convention and the community around Blizzard, I think that was the point, that this is what Mike had built. Not you, Mike.
Okay.
The big Mike.
No, not Michael, yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so like out of all the announcements, and I know J. Allen Brack, right? I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, no,
you're right.
He seemed very nervous as well, and probably understandably. And a lot of people kind of on the stage seemed nervous, except for Jep. Like he was just full of energy. As soon as he came, I was like, I fell back in my seat. He's like, oh, Uncle Jeff. He's just, he's like, they're like, Jeff, you need to make up a story. We need to kill 2 minutes. We need to make up a story, Jeff. Come on. Just like, oh, I'll tell the Uncle Jeff one. It's like saving
Uncle
BlizzCon.
Jeff, when are you gonna get rid of Moira?
And I reckon he could have just announced everything himself.
Yeah.
And everything might have been a bit better. You know, it wouldn't have, I think he could have sold this Diablo on mobile. Uncle Jeff's like, hey kids, look at the new game on my phone. You want to play? You want to play us? You don't have a phone? Oh, well, have my phone. You know?
Why is he suddenly like a Western Texan?
I don't know. I think I'm looking ahead in the show notes. Something else, and it's rubbing off.
Anyway, we got a reveal. We got Ashe, a new hero, and Bob. Ashe and Bob. But primarily, primarily Ashe. And oh my, what a cinematic! I loved it.
That the way that they built it in terms of like the stereotypical Western, where it has like those long standoffs, and my favorite part of it, still to
Was
this
it
moment,
the oil
is
drip?
Bob.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like Bob sweating the oil drip. That was amazing for me.
Oh
like,
yeah, it was such like a overplayed standoff, wasn't it?
yes,
Even
That
with
was-
the
that was fun.
what's it called, the thing that went across the street,
the tumbleweed.
the tumbleweed.
Oh,
yeah.
That was
Amazing.
Selena's moment. She was telling me like she loved the tumbleweed going
Yeah.
across, but
Yeah.
Ashe is she's a pretty cool looking character. Like she has like a lot of personality to her, especially in that video. Selena did have some complaints saying that she looked a little bit too much like Widowmaker in
Yeah.
terms of like facial structure.
So don't go on Reddit because somebody has overlaid Ashe with Widowmaker, and then they do the transparency thing. It's like, oh, they're the thing, except one's in a cowboy hat, and one's in a one suit. Don't do that. Don't ruin your imagination.
I don't care because I think she looks pretty cool. She plays nothing like Widowmaker from the looks of it. So the cinematic was great. The new hero, and then we possibly got a little hint to the next hero after her if they introduce whatever this. What is that her name?
Athena, right?
Oh, okay. Is that her
Echo.
name?
No, Echo.
Echo, yeah.
Echo.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I missed the name, but she looked cool. And the moment I saw her, I was like, "Ooh, that's the new hero." I thought that maybe Ashe was just like a character in the trailer, but nope.
So when Echo came out, I was like, is that what Mercy looked like before they put skin on her? I was like, no.
Oh, I didn't even. Just a reskin of Mercy, just making her a robot.
But no, it looked amazing, and one of the better panels actually was the voice acting panel for Overwatch. I don't know if any of you guys watch it. So good. I don't know. I just love the voice acting panels every year, and it seems like they grow in size every year. And we'll get one into the World of Warcraft one later on. It's just such a joy to just watch these people who actually they are the characters basically. It's pretty cool, and especially in the Overwatch one, we have Hammond, the hamster, the guy who plays the hamster. He actually makes those noises himself that Hammond makes, and it was so much fun, so crazy. You should, if you have access, you should definitely check it out.
I agree.
Good. Let's jump
Thanks,
into.
Uncle Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's jump over to another of our favorites. Hello, Dave. What do you have in store for us for Hearthstone? Do you want to maybe? Oh, your name is Tom. Do you want to maybe take this one? Since it's a long time.
I know we did get a sound clip from Dave Kosak from BlizzCon about what the new expansion was going to be like.
Creepy! I like it!
Oh yeah, I mean he says it about everyone, but every expansion that's coming out. So yeah, we're going to get Rustican's Rumble, which from the leaks we knew was going to be a troll expansion. Although sometimes people find it hard to believe that Blizzard are going to do something focused on trolls, but it's pretty thematic in World of Warcraft right now, and they've just thrown it over to Hearthstone. Didn't see too much kind of revealed card-wise. I know they have their kind of card reveals leading up to it, but this is going to be coming out December, which it's one of those things that we know we're going to get Hearthstone expansions now. So when it gets announced, it's like, well, yeah, we knew we were going to get the expansion, and nothing really on top of that. I didn't actually look too much into the single player I think it's gonna be called Rumble Run, which sounds
That sounds like
so it's probably gonna be similar vein of Monster Hunt and the Dungeon Run as well. Maybe just with the
you know that each class has their own Loa and what spirit
yeah,
animal or
each
whatever.
class has their own lower legendary, and they've
and
also introduced these like like zero health or
spirits,
zero attack, 3 health kind of spirits that aren't legendaries, and you can I think they're rares, so they're going to be easier to obtain.
You can have 2 of them. You can have 2 of them.
And you can have 2 of them because they're not legendary.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of wraps up the kind of year.
And the thing is with the PvE side of things, you actually have a hero. I don't remember the name of him right now, but the first thing you have to do is actually choose your Loa. What Loa do you want to follow, and then that's how it continues.
Hashtag choose your Loa. I wonder why that was trending.
So yeah. So a little bit of Hearthstone goodies as well. I don't think there was anything unexpected here either, right?
No, and I know, like on the day one when they were revealing cards, they made it a bit interactive with the crowd, with like which one we're going to vote, and they did kind of people cheering to see which one they were going to vote, which was nice to have some crowd interaction. So we'll see more Hearthstone stuff, and we'll probably talk about that a bit more as we get closer to it and get a few more cards to sink our teeth into. So yes, yeah. Hearthstone signs off with another expansion, 3 in a year, and that's a standard. Nothing else to really.
I think we should just always, like, when it comes to Hearthstone, just say, and Hearthstone announced their next expansion as per tradition. Just like we just know it, and nothing bad, nothing too crazy, nothing. So good.
When it comes to World of Warcraft, I think we sort of expected what to get as well. Not too much talk about 8.1. We did get a quick sum up. This is what's going to happen in 8.1. But we know it. We know what it is.
Can we talk about Classic for a second?
We're coming to the Classic. Don't worry about it.
I want to jump ahead.
Who?
Why? Why do you want to jump into Classic?
I just wanted to talk about Classic because you talk about Warcraft. So you said.
Well, I'm talking about World of Warcraft.
That is World of Warcraft. I'm so confused.
Just like they said on stage, you don't want to say which one is the real game.
Yeah, you don't want to say that. Okay, what are we talking about? Because there's three World of Warcraft stuff.
I was just going through 8.1, not going to talk about that too much, and it didn't. And then we came to 8.2 that I think everybody had sort of expected that they would do. And we're going to Nashatar. I don't think this was a big surprise, and if you have followed the news a little bit, or just I don't. It wasn't a big surprise to me, at least. I think it was sort of expected that that's where we're going, and we're getting some new stuff like heroic war fronts, new island expeditions, and then they showed off the new heritage armor for gnomes and taurens, and obviously they teased flying and
flying. Are we gonna have that?
We're gonna have that, at some point in 8.2, and then Mechagon, the Mega Dungeon.
It's a gnome city.
It's a gnome area and city and dungeon. I know at least one guy who might be quite excited for this.
Yeah, Frasley, this is for you. Not only are the gnomes getting heritage armor, but they're also getting a gnome dungeon. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in World of Warcraft, especially 8.2.
Yeah.
In story-wise and content-wise. Like, I personally haven't been keeping up with everything, so seeing Nashatar was pretty exciting for me. Like, it comes with, like, it's a new zone. Obviously, it's on a smaller scale. Like, don't think, like, it's Argus, where it has, like, 3 big ones. But it is pretty exciting. So, I am interested to see the story that's going to go into it. I'm going to go into one little thing really quick that says that there was a picture where Sylvanas has, what was the name? Xalatath in her hand, which was the Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, right? Yeah. The Shadow Priest artifact weapon, which is home to Xalatath, who is she's kind of like an old god herself, right?
I'm not completely sure.
I think she is an old god, but not servant. To like the scale of like Cthulhu or somebody like that. But I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we'll definitely see way more about Salatar. And then I'm not going to spoil anything because I know I've read into all the small fine prints and stuff, but I will not tell you anything about it because we don't spoil things. But what we did get a new cinematic, a cinematic with Sourfang and Anduin, which it looked gorgeous, looked really good. I guess we sort of expected to get a cinematic, but oh man, these always look great.
Sorry, I completely missed that. You're talking about the
Sourfang
Lost Honor?
Lost Honor, the Sourfang cinematic, yes.
Lost Honor looks awesome in like every way. It was shorter, but one thing I forgot what I was watching. I think it was what's his name? Belilar, who was talking about how Blizzard is not afraid to do character development in these. There's little to no action in it. It was just like Sourfang and Anduin talking to each other and leading into possibly things that are going on. It was super exciting, and it's so small yet so big. Like, and it looks excellent. It's excellent.
I don't know what's Anduin doing. Like, what is Anduin doing? Just releasing prisoners now. You know, this is an enemy of the Alliance. We shouldn't be just like, hey, just gonna leave your cage open, and you're gonna come with us, and we're gonna...
I think Anduin is thinking bigger picture here. He's not just thinking about that conflict. I think he's thinking about what Sylvanas actually might do if she keeps in power.
It's an interesting turn though, isn't it? Because what is gonna conspire between Anduin and Sourfang, and how is that gonna, is this being set up that Sourfang's gonna be the leader of the Horde and Sylvanas is gonna be displaced? And I don't think like Sylvanas is gonna be, she's not gonna go the Garrosh way, even though it seems to look like that. And there's kind of one of the slides, she was wielding a new weapon, which potentially is a corrupted weapon. So it's still up in the air, like where they're taking her. But it looks like they're positioning Sourfang to take over the Horde. But then at the same time, would the Horde want somebody that's going to be communicating with the Alliance, is going to be working with the Alliance to...
But so did Thrall.
So did Thrall, but times have changed, man. Times have changed. I mean, have you seen Malfurious? Have you seen Malfurious? The whole Horde versus Alliance thing, we're in a different league now with that.
Yeah, but I also sort of feel like that there might be a lot of the Horde races that are a little bit like maybe looking back at the old times and thinking they might go back to it. And I know there's a certain troll, at least, who feels this way.
Oh yeah, trolls. I mean, they're just everywhere.
They're trolling.
Right,
they're just trolling.
I forgot what I was gonna say. That threw me off.
But no, we also had a quick peek at the next Warfront, and there was some in-game cinematic for that with some old night elves that we haven't seen in action for a while, Malfurion and Tyrande, and I saw quite a few people saying, yes, finally they are back as we know them, because I think a lot of people have felt like that they have been a little bit acting silly lately, so it was really cool to see them back like this and actually taking a stance and just being a little bit aggressive, I guess.
It's always nice when they actually do something. Because it always seems like, at least in terms of like Malfurion and Tyrande, they haven't been doing anything. And it's really sad, especially with Tyrande, because I remember playing Warcraft 3 and she's being like a complete... she's awesome. I was going to say something, but I remember we might have some people watching. But she's really cool character. She's aggressive. She takes charge. She does not care. I remember a line specifically where Malfurion tells her not to release Illidan, and she's like, well, you're not the boss of me, pretty much. And if I think that it's right to do so, I'm going to do it. And then in this game, it's like, she shows up. You shot him. Let me pick him up and take him away while the tree burns. I'll just leave you to it. Like, what? What? Come on now. Make them interesting. Make them actually do something.
Yeah, and it seems like we'll see them coming back very soon.
Yeah.
And
Malfurion finally woke up.
Yeah, if you prefer Malfurion sleeping, then you can totally see that as well. If you go back to World of Warcraft Classic, which will
What a
be
segue.
which will be launching next summer, the summer of 2019.
In the summer of 69. I apologize. Yes, that.
And bye, Michael. I don't know why he left.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's out of here.
Are we still on stream? Are we still alive?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Prasley, anybody? Are we still here or are we gone?
20 minutes later.
Okay, I think we're back. We had a little technical difficulty. Mike had some problems with his Discord that decided not to work anymore. So now, really old school. This is amazing. We have Mike back on his phone.
That's right. The amazing audio quality is here. So I don't know what's going on. Discord kind of like kicked the bucket on us. We angered Diablo and his minions.
No, this is the problem when you don't open with WoW Classic news. I said, let's go to WoW. You said, no, let's wait. There's plenty of time. Boom.
Yeah, there we go.
Ruined everything.
Let's quickly jump into WoW Classic then. We have our launch date. Well, not a date exactly, but around summer 2019. And it will be free if you're already subscribing to World of Warcraft. So if you're already subscribed, then you can play this as well.
That was a big worry for people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That this was going to be separate, but it makes sense that you wouldn't split the player base up to pursue this, and just having the one sub, it makes total sense. If we were talking about any other way, I would have been just like, no, this isn't good, but this makes sense and good.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they probably could have charged for it and people would get it. I think it's a really good move.
I've seen people saying like, oh, if it was only like $4 or $5 bucks or something like that, it would have been totally fine with them. Personally, I think it's as well as a good thing that it's included in the subscription. Because I'd a few bucks maybe I would maybe pay for it, but now I'll definitely jump into it. So did you...
Speaking of that, did you play the beta at all?
I jumped into it, and I have to admit there's a lot of things that even I have forgotten about Classic. Like, all my spells have ranks. I jumped in as a Shadow Priest. I had to drink between each kill, and I was like, oh, I need to get a wand. I had a mace on my character, I noticed, because he was holding it in his hands. I was like, I need to get a mace, a wand, so I can just shoot at them as well, until I realized, oh wait, we have an extra slot as well, so I also have a mace and a wand. I had both. There's definitely a lot of things that I had forgotten. And I got my quest, and the first thing I did was I opened the map to see where to go on the map, and then I realized, oh no. This is not how it works.
Tell me.
No, so I actually had to read the quest text, and we're like, you need to go east. And I was like, where is that again? It's right. Okay, let's go. But no, I mean... Did you find
Mankirk's wife, Marty, or are you still looking?
I already knew where she was, because I'm the one of the few who actually found her back in the days. So if you need pointers, just ask me.
Marty Thoughtbot Larson. That's what we call him.
Exactly. But no, it was quite fun to actually jump back in, and it felt to me like back in the days. It felt like it. I mean, surely I think I jumped in like half an hour, and oh my god, the drop rate of the quest I was doing was so poor. It felt like the old days.
Tom, have you jumped into it at all?
No, Michael, because if you remember at the start of the show, I said about purchasing a virtual ticket, and I did not, so I was unable to experience my youthful World of Warcraft days. But I know we've been getting a bit more details about like where this is going to start and what kind of functions we're going to have in the game. And I know there was lots of questions about, will we have updated models maybe? But it looks like they're keeping it as rough, basic, and true to how it was. And I want to tell you guys the big thing about this Let Marty have your finger ready on that button.
Okay.
There will be no achievements in WoW Classic. That's not a button.
I know, but why would there be? That wasn't achievements in Classic.
But people love achievements, Marty. People love achievements. Well, I'm off. Was nice talking to you guys. Good luck with the rest of the show. Hope you guys make it to BlizzCon next year.
So, I'm brand new to it. It's my first time experiencing it. Before I address the community issues that have stemmed up, I do want to give my first impressions on good and bad. Good. I love the talent trees. I've always been on the side of, I wish we had talent trees like they used to, rather than we do right now. Ever since I joined the show, even before then, and you guys always called me crazy every time I said it. And I'm like, I really enjoy the talent trees. I like looking and trying to figure out, okay, where do I want to put things in order to get what I want? The problem is that I realize class-wise, I don't know the class well enough to know what I should be going for. And that is pretty exciting because I get to learn it as I go. Something that Marty addressed was I was trying to do the bandanas quest from where you get it from the Defias mob or whatever, and they were not dropping at all. I was partnered up with a few random people. We were grouping together. Somebody just invited me because we were in the same area. And for those who don't know, if you don't tag that mob first, you're not going to get anything for it.
Nope.
So I was just running around trying to hit things, and it wasn't working. But speaking of hitting things, the gameplay is very slow. And it's not that great, to be honest. When I push my button, I don't feel good pushing the button. Some people prefer that style. I personally don't. I do like the modern day style where you push it and it's happening. And it feels like it's happening. While here is like I push rend and the global is just like however long it takes for it to get actually to it is pretty long. And then I just feel like I'm not really doing much. It just feels like I'm kind of like, you go over there, hit, and then I'm waiting for it to actually do the thing. I don't feel like I'm in control of the character so much. That might change. That might change the higher level you get, the more time you have with abilities and things like that. But it is definitely a slower pace. That's something I don't like. And I made the mistake of trying to use the path. I was going to the quest and I was going along the path. And I say it's a mistake because boy, does it feel empty if you just take the path.
But I think that's also because of the amount of players that are in the beta, maybe, because I didn't really run into too many people.
I mean enemies.
No, that's the thing. If you take the path, that's the safe way in quotation marks. It was the safe way to go through the land. Obviously, you would always have stray mobs.
There was even a tooltip, Michael. There was even a tooltip that said, "Take the path to avoid enemies."
Was there?
Yeah. So
I didn't get to start off at level 1, so I don't know.
it
definitely felt like there was nothing like that.
Yeah, that's intentional. That's how the game was. If you wanted the danger, then you ran through the jungle or the desert or whatever. But if you just wanted to go somewhere, then you would run along the path.
Okay, I like that. Then now that you guys put it into context, and that's kind of why I want to segue a little bit really quickly here. Is that context? I watched the video the day that WoW Classic demo went live, and right after it, and people playing it, and the amount of complaints that people were putting up in terms of they're sharding the beta, the health regen seems to be faster, and the movement speed seems a little bit faster to people, I guess, as well. So, first of all, if you're a YouTuber and you're doing WoW content, while I appreciate you getting it super quickly out there, please, if there are panels about to discuss the game, please let it be known, hey, might be addressed here. Because the comment section in that video was horrible. And then the next day, they put out a video that's oh, these things that I was complaining about, sharding and things like that, they talked about it on a panel. So I was just
that's
super upset that people are jumping to it.
That is YouTube culture in a nutshell, though. It's let's get a reactive video out, let's highlight all this stuff, and then the next day we'll just maybe be a bit more
put
rational.
a band-aid over it. And the comments were completely different on both videos. One was just filled with hate, which was the earlier one, and then the second one was like, okay, yeah, I agree with this. Like, good on you, Blizzard. Sharding, while sucks, is pretty good for the opening experience, because as a quester, like, even in the little bit of people that were on with me this time, I would not want to try to do these quests with every single person on the server trying to do them at the same time. While I get that, like, people want it like toe for toe, like, well, that's how it was in vanilla. Well, if they could probably change that, they probably would have in vanilla, because it's a horrible experience for somebody just trying to get into the game.
The thing that was annoying as a shadow priest was that, or priest in general, was that if you wanted to tag a mob, if you were two people running towards the same mob, you want to tag that mob as fast as possible, else you need to go find some other mob somewhere else. And the thing is that, what would you do? Well, why not use an instant cast spell, which is Shadow Word Pain? The thing is, you don't tag them up until you do damage. And back in the days, it's a Shadow Word Pain is a dot that is taking damage over time, and when you apply it, that's when the timer is starting. It's not when it does damage; it's when the timer is starting. So you have to wait that one tick until you actually get the tag on it. So I
got one better for you,
okay,
Whiny
okay.
McWinerson.
No, I'm just saying that's how it was. I'm not whining about it. I'm just saying that was the challenges. That was the
Priest
challenge.
whiners, yeah. Warlocks also had no instant cast, except they had one which was on a 10-minute cooldown, and their other instant cast cost a reagent called Soul Shard.
Soul Shard.
One thing that... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say I played a warrior, so I got to like charge right in. So probably while you were stemming up your ability casting, I just run in. Oops, my bad. Were you about to hit that? Thanks for the 3 damage on it.
I don't know if you had chance, Michael, to maybe play a few classes, because I think the one thing that stands out for me in Classic is how every class did feel so much different when you were playing it, and how different specs operated as well
I just realized hunters and backspace.
Backspace. Oh yeah, picking up arrows. Yeah, but it always felt like classes felt so much different. Whereas now it seems, they've been so like their uniqueness has been cut away, and a lot of them, they've got the big cooldown button and they press the 2 for the instant cast, and just the way a lot of class mechanics work now seem quite similar. And I feel like back in Classic, a lot of the classes had more unique tropes, and we even had one class on each side that was totally different, like paladins and shamans, and the iteration of those classes now compared to what they were like back then is so much different. I mean, yeah, paladins were being brought along into raids to be buffers and to use their auras, but there was still something magical about taking a class and going, well, we'll take the warlock. I mean, he doesn't do much damage, but his imp gives us blood pact, which increases our stamina. So there was more discussions like that about certain classes providing some benefit, even if they sucked at damage, or they
we usually brought a warlock because then we could summon people into the dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't bringing them for their top damage. You weren't bringing them for other things like, oh, they can summon. You're a good warlock. You're making everyone travel here faster. That's your reason why you're here. Mages, we don't have to buy food today because we've got a mage, and I feel like stuff like that felt more important than compared to today, where it's all about the damage, right? It's all about who does the most damage. That's who we got to bring. Whereas back then there was these little kind of sometimes silly things, but this rogue can lockpick. That's great. We can maybe get through what's it called?
Blackrock Depths.
Blackrock Depths a bit quicker because he can pick this lock. Stuff like that. Small, but I think it made classes just a bit more special.
I have to agree. And I think we could do a whole show on Classic versus...
maybe we should do that one day.
Maybe we should, yeah. But let's jump even further back than Classic. Let's back off to Warcraft 3, which I think was the big surprise, which is probably what they should have ended with in the opening ceremony, in my opinion.
Please call it by its correct title, Marty.
Warcraft 3 Reforged. It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a strictly remaster. They're actually changing up things a little bit in the game as well. That's why they call it Reforged, and it looks
Yeah, they
amazing.
dunked it into the fire and put it back on the anvil.
Yeah.
And there.
Reforging.
Yeah.
Reforging
That's where it
those.
went. That's where Reforging
That's
went.
where Reforging went. Reforge those stats on those soldiers. It looked amazing, and I have pre-ordered it not only because of the meat wagon, but because I'm going to play the bleep out of this game. Looks amazing.
It definitely did. It blew me away when I saw it. Like, obviously, like, we were not expecting this. It's been rumored for a while, but I think we expected Diablo 2 was going to be the first one to come along the way. And suddenly, Warcraft 3, they open up with, like, the Reign of Chaos cinematic in, like, fully redone. And it looks so amazing. And then you're like, okay, let me, like, obviously, like, they're going to make the cinematics look better because they did so in StarCraft, I think. I want to say that they did. And then you go to the units and the actual game, and you're like, holy crap, is that Arthas? Why does he look like he was in a boy band? Like, like, he looks really good. Like, oh my god, I was so excited for it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be amazing.
They're remodeling every unit in the game and the landscape and everything. It is not just a remaster. This looks so stunning.
It does. So excited for it. I didn't pre-order it yet, but I will once I get money.
Yeah. How about you, Tom? You're going to pick it up. I know you're a big Warcraft 3 fan. Are you going to? Is this for you, or don't you care? You have enough in the original one, in the OG Warcraft 3.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic. I think you are. Yes, I'm not a big RTS fan, but I had played a bit of Warcraft 3. Like during my days in World of Warcraft, I went back and played it a bit, and I definitely feel like I would be interested in picking this up because I like the whole Orphea story, and it looks like they're really polishing this up, and it looks good. And even the cinematics as well have been tidied up, and it'll be great just to go back and play that. And actually, I think like my girlfriend Amanda, she's getting into lore, she's reading a lot of books, and I feel like the Orphea section is something she hasn't delved too deep into. So I'm definitely gonna try and like push her towards it as well, because it is, you know, when you look at Warcraft history, it's pivotal really to what happens next. And Orpheus is just one of those characters, you know, the Lich King. It's one of those. It's like when you think of Star Wars bad guys, you think of Darth Vader. You know, it's that iconic to the franchise. So yeah, it looks good what they've done, and it looks like they're also focusing on you know, giving the creative side back to the community as well. It looks like they talked a lot about that, and that was a big deal because, you know, for example, Dota was born within that system as well. And it'll be great to see what people can create with that and customize. And I think that's probably where it would get me more excited as well, because once you give these tools to the community, especially with, you know, Warcraft, it's going to be great to see what comes out of that. And it was a great announcement. I agree with you, Marty. If this had came at the end, maybe it would have not tasted as so sour going into, you know, the main panels and stuff. But agreed, it was a surprise, because when that trailer hit, I was like, oh, is this Diablo 2 No, it's the other one.
The other one.
Overwatch remastered. Oh wait, one. No. Okay.
Reject.
Quickly before we end the show, we have a quick question from Selena. What was the highlight of BlizzCon for each of you? Let's start with you, Mike. What was the highlight for you?
We haven't talked about it at all, but the esports.
The esports.
The esports for me were on a whole nother level. Heroes of the Storm especially, but everywhere. I do want to say we got our first non-Korean StarCraft 2 world champion.
Wow.
Ooh.
Our first non-Korean. Cyril, congratulations. You set the bar for foreigners. Like, absolutely amazing what he accomplished. And
What
China,
country is
awesome
you
showing.
representing?
Finland.
Finland. Wow. Okay.
Finland. Yes, the Finnish
Nice.
coming out. Finishing strong. Hey, there you go.
Hey.
That's all I got.
All right. The highlight for you, Tom? Diablo, right?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely wasn't the fact that I didn't buy the virtual ticket. Then I definitely didn't find somebody on YouTube streaming things about the virtual ticket. It definitely wasn't that. It's tricky this year. I'm gonna say that usually I come out of BlizzCon and there's that one thing where I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited. And I think this year it's just, it's pretty standard. Like everything that's come out, there's nothing really there that's, jumped out at me. But I really did love the Overwatch cinematic. I'd say the cinematics, it's a bit of a cop-out, but for me, that was the thing I took away. I really enjoyed the introduction of Ashe. I really enjoyed the introduction of Orphea and the Starfang and the Wind cinematic as well. I mean, those things for me got me excited. They got me pumped, and they open up questions to, more things within those franchises as well. So it feels like a bit of a cop-out answer. But I think this year, it's definitely been a bit more quieter, but yeah.
It depends on how you look at it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, from a certain angle, quieter with the announcements, on another spectrum, a little bit louder with the response.
All right. Yeah, and for me, it's definitely to look at World of Warcraft, where we're going next. I'm really excited for to see where the story is taking us, because I feel like so far the story has been amazing in World of Warcraft. Warcraft has a lot of other issues at the moment, but story-wise, I'm really looking forward to see where we're headed. So I think that's it for me. And I think that's it for this week. Let's head over to the bar so we can close it down and get the hell out of here.
Last orders! Last orders!
It is the time where we shamelessly plug our other podcast called Nerd This. Dusty and I got together this past week and recorded a quick little episode where we are talking about games that we are playing, what we're looking forward to at BlizzCon, and let's just say that we got nothing right. And yeah, other tidbits here and there. So definitely check that out. Stay around, because after the show we have a very special Freshly Report. Let us know your thoughts about BlizzCon and anything we talked about on this episode. Or if you have your own questions, feel free to contact us. But before you get all that information, Tom is sticking his finger up in the air because he wants to say something.
I have another shout out for another podcast on our network, Dragon Powered Studios, and that is check out the latest episode of Geek Herring, where they cover the glorious women of Warcraft. They're joined by one of our friends at the Blue Recluse, Syl, and they're talking about some of the badass women of Warcraft, especially in Battle for Azeroth with the Warbringers and, the struggles that those women have gone through, and to maybe why they have been thrust into the limelight right now. So definitely check that out if you're a fan of Warcraft.
There we go. Anyway, Tom, if people want to contact us, I think you have the details.
I do, and I feel like Michael does this way better than me now, but I'll do it anyway. Email the show, the Blue Recluse podcast at gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at the Blue Recluse. Come on over to the bluerecluse.eu/Discord, where we're talking about BlizzCon Fallout, free games. I actually gave away a couple of free games there this week. iTunes reviews, if you want to do that, we'd love to hear from you guys. You can support the show on patreon.com/the Blue Recluse, and you can find all that information and more, including the show notes for this episode, on our website, thebluerecluse.eu or thebluerecluse.com.
There we go. That's it. That's everything we had. BlizzCon is over. I can now go back to sleep and actually get a full night's sleep. Those words, there's nothing else to say. Thank you so much for listening. See you, most of you, next week, right, Tom? And Freshly, take it away.
This show is brought to you by...
Whoa, that was too prematurely. Freshly, get off the keyboard and press the right buttons.
Okay, so I was about to record the latest Freshly Report broadcast, but this episode will be a little different. Actually, I don't even think this is an episode. So I got a knock on the door. It wasn't trick-or-treaters, thankfully. I already gave away my Hogwarts snow globe to one that looked like Gelbin Mechatork. Wait, could that have been Gelbin? It's too late now to find out. But anyways, back to my story. So I got this knock on the door. It turned out it was someone from Blizzard. They have loved my reporting and the fact that I always share real, 100% true news regarding World of Warcraft and Blizzard. None of this has ever been made up for comedic effect. I mean, there's no one that's ever scripting this out. No, that wouldn't have happened. It's not fake news. So they love the report, they've been following it, and they wanted to make sure that I was at BlizzCon this year. So they bought me plane tickets and gave me VIP access to BlizzCon. The hotels were already full, so I'll be sleeping inside a nearby Starbucks. Don't worry, I've got the permission of the owners. So I already cleared it with them. As long as I make sure to clean up the store and let all the staff go home, I can sleep there. The rep at Blizzard told them I am trustworthy because the rep goes there a lot during BlizzCon. They need a lot of caffeine to make an awesome convention go along. So my bags are packed, and I will be heading there now. What follows is my vlog, except it's in audio form. So an A-log or OG? Or whatever the name. Here we go! I'm at the airport. Just made it to Oh, look! It's Thorn and Fist! Hey! Hey, it's Rasley! Okay, it's time to head to the convention center after I get some coffee. It's now the day of BlizzCon, so I forgot to record all yesterday. Con Before the Storm, DitchCon, BlizzNerds, Wowhead. All the parties were awesome. I met so many awesome people I know. I even got to meet up with Pat Crane and gave him a hug. Well, today is the big day of the opening ceremony. I'm in line right now. What will we see? Diablo 4? Mechanomes? Warcraft Mobile? StarCraft 3? Mechanomes? I'm in line now. Oh, look! It's Scott Johnson! Hey, Scott Johnson! Hey, can I have a sticker? Okay, I'm about to go through the bag scanner. See you on the other side. Okay, I am now sitting in the main hall. I'm in a booster seat, and I'm so excited for what is to come. I'm sitting right next to Toasty and a few other podcasters right now. I am so pumped to be here. Oh, look, it's Scruffy! Hey, Scruffy! So many awesome people are here. I'm so excited.
Greetings. Welcome to BlizzCon. We are about to begin. Please silence all your phones.
Welcome to BlizzCon!
All right. Now, you don't care who I am, so in this presentation, I won't give you my name. Only the news. This year, for World of Warcraft, we're excited to announce the World of Warcraft is no more. It is time for it to step down. And in its place, it's not 8.1, it's 8.9. We're going to present a brand new version of Warcraft. We call it the World of Gnomes. Yes. There will be one race, the best race, the Gnomes. Oh, yeah. There will be one capital city, the reconquered, the glorious Gnomeregan. The Trogs and Leper Gnomes have been punted out. Thermoplug has been removed from his position of power. There's no more war, because gnomes love everyone. And instead, we'll be all roaming around, singing, dancing, making puns, blasting each other with rainbows, all the fun stuff. Making friends with all the creatures of Gnomeseroth, except for the squirrels, because... What? Because Frasley, our new fearless leader of the gnomes, says squirrels are evil and plotting to take over the world.
Right, absolutely right.
In fact, Frasley is here right now. Frasley, would you mind coming up on stage to give us a few words? Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only gnome, with Horde street cred, Frasley.
What? He just did. Oh, my gnomeness! He said my name! Oh, excuse me. I gotta get up. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Ah! Phooey! I'm sitting in the studio. I must have fallen asleep. That was all a dream. Again? I used this plot device a few episodes ago. I really need to work on my sleeping. But late night game sessions are too addicting. Oh, I was having such a good dream. Why did I have to wake up?
In my dreams, happiness is what it seems. A simple feeling that you hold in your hands, held to your longing to.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.